Nice to meet you.
Nice
Big
to meet
fan
you
of your
too.
work.
Thank you.
Swingers, come on, man. Do people just stop you randomly and just start talking to you about that film still, or?
I mean, there was definitely a time when Swingers was really annoying. When like when I was my 20s and trying to like meet girls, and I'd go to like a club or a bar, and guys would come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, I love Swingers," and talk to me about Swingers, and I'm like, "Okay, great, but like." You're the one person I don't want to be meeting and talking to here.
Right.
So it really was a it was more of a curse. It was great for my career, but not great for my love life.
Since I've been covering film the last couple of years for Fox 26 in Houston, I've gotten to know Vince Vaughn really well. Yeah. And he's just always in that character. He's always going to be that guy, you know, and he's just a
Well,
wonderful...
we based the character in Swingers on Vince.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
No,
Yeah.
it's, I mean, not, it's fictionalized a lot of it,
right.
but it's closer to home than...
that's him all the time.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. What a story. I'm just curious, what drew you to this story? It's just unbelievable.
I'm really drawn to strong characters that are living outrageous lives. And we were talking about Vince Vaughn, and his character in Swingers is sort of based. I was drawn to Vince in real life before we ever made the movie, and kind of the way he was living his life, and the kind of the womanizing that was happening in L.A. at the time, and it was, with Barry Seal, he was this just incredible opportunist who while he was flying for the CIA is realizing he can smuggle drugs back into America at the same time, and he became one of the wealthiest men in America while he was working for the CIA.
It's just, and you think about all the things that happen, but the fact that it's true, I think makes it even crazier. I'm just curious, what kind of research did you go through to make sure that this was done right?
Well, first of all, my movies have always benefited from pulling from reality. I mean, we talked about Swingers, and that, it's a comedy, but it's drawn from reality, and the Bourne franchise is I use the limitations of the CIA, the real limitations, to make the scenes ultimately more exciting, and the limitations of the cars for the car chases, and not just have them be these James Bond wonder cars. And so I've always sort of benefited from, Edge of Tomorrow, the exosuits, have batteries that run out and menus that are difficult to navigate. And I've always found that drawing from reality has made my films more exciting. So in the case of American Made, it's not a biopic. I'm able to just use the real events to tell something that's way more exciting and more dramatic than if you just sort of made it up and didn't have limitations. But in terms of the research, my father ran the investigation into these events for
that's where I was
the
going.
United States Senate.
Right.
So I knew the story. I knew the story from the White House's point of view and from the CIA's point of view. Reading the script to American Made, I realized there was a whole other side to the story, and of what was actually happening on the ground, and the pilots were actually carrying out these missions. And in fact, there was that disconnect between the world I knew sort of through my father and what was really happening on the ground that enabled a character like Barry Seal to become so fabulously wealthy while working for the CIA.
You mentioned Edge of Tomorrow. This is your second time to work with the incredible Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
How proud are you as a director of his portrayal? I mean, he just immersed himself into this role and really does show on the screen. As a director, that's got to make you proud. Tell me a little bit about that experience.
Well, I'm an unusual sort of force in presence in Tom Cruise's life, because I like sort of being the anti-Tom Cruise. I mean, I like sort of poking fun at Tom, and Tom actually likes poking fun at the brand of Tom Cruise. I mean, he recognizes all this sort of that this persona, this brand of Tom Cruise isn't him. And so he'll join me in making fun of Tom Cruise. I mean, we'll literally be out and someone will say they want a photo taken, and if, people are always coming up to wanting their photo taken, and I'll be like, Tom Cruise charges for that. I'm like, what do you mean he charges? Like, it's $5 for a photo. You can get 3 for $10. And they're like, you're shitting with me. And I'm like, he'll go along with that with me just because I'm like, how else would be? This person's going to go home and be like, Tom Cruise charged me $5 to take a picture. Why does that guy need $5? But I'm like, he's game for anything.
I love it. Hey, congratulations on this film. Seriously, dude, I'm going to see it again.